So in the last lesson, I showcased the result of the simulation with the default nCloth settings. Everything is floating like the character is underwater. The straps feel like tentacles. My first decision was to introduce the 3 deformation resistance values that I counted on for the last 2 simulations. Because there are so many cloth nodes to change, the way to change them all at once is to select all the cloth nodes, hit the down key to access their shape nodes, and this gives me access to all the nCloth parameters in the attributes spreadsheet. Now I can make changes to all of them at once in the respective column. So this is the end result of introducing input mesh attract, deform resistance, and rigidity at 0.05. This is a huge contrast from the default values, and it was unexpected. There are so many things broken. My first thought was to narrow down the problem through process of elimination to figure out who the worst culprit of the 3 was. So it turns out that the primary culprit of the 3 was rigidity. So I zeroed it out and left input mesh attract and deform resistance to do what I trusted them to do in the past for the other 2 simulation tests. Preserve the integrity of the original shapes. When compared to the result we started with, the difference seems negligible, but that only appears to be the case because this floaty result is masking the effects of input mesh attract and deform resistance on their own without rigidity making any contribution. So it's time to get this floatiness out of the simulation. My first inclination was to do it by increasing the mass of each of these cloth panels. What I resolved to do at the start is use the same general values for all the pieces to get some acceptable behavior, then fine-tune settings for the individual parts once I get the simulation to behave a lot better. So to lose the floatiness or this overly dampened feel, I started to crank up the mass to 100. I wasn't noticing that significant of a weight change, so I just kept cranking up the mass. So I moved up to 1,000 and eventually ended up at 8,000. At about 8,000, things were starting to feel heavy enough. Now, I mentioned in a previous test that the reason I end up having to crank up these values so high is because my space scale value has not been altered to fit my currently set scene scale. But if you don't care about that, it doesn't matter. I don't particularly care about entering these large values to get what I want. So I stated at the end of the last video that one of the noticeable issues was how the pouches are dragging at the sleeve. Cranking up the mass has done nothing to help resolve that. So I considered if the pouches having the same mass as what they're attached to, the sleeves, may be the issue. Maybe the system is perceiving them as too heavy. So now that the overall mass of everything was feeling better, I immediately moved to reduce the mass of the pouches. I set them back to their default of 1 from 8,000. This huge differential in the mass of the pouches and everything else caused some very wonky behavior, and things started to explode. So I eventually increased their mass to 100. This stopped the exploding behavior. And if you make a comparison, you will notice that at a mass of 100, even though the pouches still have a life of their own, they are not dragging at the sleeves as aggressively. So the reduction in their mass is definitely useful. So at this stage, it's time to introduce a property that will control this chaotic behavior even more, because things are still flying all over the place. This property is damp. A dampening of 50 for all the fabric pieces got things contained. But 50 is way too much. Now we have a stiff, starched up feeling fabric that does not react to forces or gravity. So I started reducing the damp gradually. First to 25, then to 10, and eventually settled at 3, which seemed to contain things the best. Now that the dampening value had contained the simulation a bit, I wanted to revisit the mass of the pouches. I started to feel like their low mass value was making them feel a lot floatier and a lot less heavier than they should be. So I increased their mass sum from 100 that I had initially reduced them to all the way up to 2000. A number just a bit closer to the mass of the 8000 that all the other pieces have. This change to 2000 reintroduced the dragging effect that I had at a mass of 8000 for the pouches. Just to make a comparison at this stage with everything dampened, I set the mass of the pouches back to the 8000 value that they initially were. So what appears to be happening is that reducing their mass to a low number makes them float, increasing their mass makes them drag at the sleeves. And at the time, I blamed either of these scenarios for producing this accordion-like movement to the pouches. But that's just because I couldn't really narrow down the problem. So I was just blaming it on too light of a mass for the pouches or too heavy of a mass for the pouches. But right then and then, it became clear to me that the mass property of the pouches was not going to be the solution for taming them. So at this stage, I decided to introduce some shear resistance. From revisiting the nCloth documentation in the past, I've come to understand shear resistance to operate by using imaginary cross links that you can chart from the vertices of each face, and that basically prevent each face from collapsing on itself when you crank up that value. Looking at this accordion-like behavior, that is what appears to be happening. Each face is collapsing on a squash. And thankfully, this was the solution. Setting the shear resistance to 100 solved the issue without starching up the sleeve. The great thing about this solution is that I was able to completely eliminate deform resistance and input mesh attract for the pouches. So unlike the other tests where I at the very least relied on deform resistance, input mesh attract, or rigidity, the pouches do not rely on any of these values to behave properly. They exclusively rely on shear resistance to hold their original shape, thus eliminating the accordion-like behavior without producing that starched up feel for the pouches or the sleeve they're attached to. Bear in mind that stretch and compression resistance used together can probably yield the same effect, so play around with values to see what works. So now that I got the pouches behaving properly, it was time to focus my attention on another problem, the hood. The hood is doing this weird floating thing from left to right, obviously caused from the damp value of 3 that it has, and a damp of 1 appears to be enough to contain it. Ultimately, if the animation calls for it to not move so much, then it would be a matter of trying to introduce more deform resistance, input mesh attract, rigidity, or any one of the other resistance values. Another direction to go in is to introduce a component constraint like I did with the neck of the bubble jacket, and I may head down this route. But for this test, I like the overlapping action I'm receiving from the hood, so I'll leave it as is. So this is about enough for this test. I just wanted to ensure that I could get things to behave. I definitely could have revisited the hanging nylon straps to get them to behave a lot better, but I think this is enough. Anyway, so that's it for these tests. With all of these tests, I've come to the conclusion that settings will have to be fine-tuned on a case-by-case basis. No one size fits all. Even for the same article of clothing, a different animation may require a different approach. But one thing for certain, these tests let me know a good place to start with each of these clothing articles when it's time to simulate them for animation. So in the next lesson, I'm going to jump back into the modeling of the rest of the clothing assets for these characters. I must admit, I went a little too far by adding so many clothing articles to this project. I've made some major changes to get things moving along. So in the next lesson, I will go over these changes and then jump right into detailing the baggy hoodie and the cropped hoodie. See you guys in the next lesson.